And welcome to Channel One, a new way of consuming, reporting, and thinking about the news powered by artificial intelligence. Today, you'll witness AI-generated stories and headlines, captivating visuals and data-driven insights. From global news to finance to entertainment, we'll show you how technology enables us to bring you a global perspective 24/7, right from the heart of our AI-native newsroom. All presented by our team of AI-generated reporters.
Maybe you hear the words artificial intelligence and you're immediately skeptical or concerned about technology gone crazy. But everything you'll see on Channel One relies on trusted sources and fact-checking, and uses AI to give you news the way you want it, personalized, localized, and distilled. Through it all, our mission is to provide you with accurate, unbiased, and trustworthy news. Technology may be the tool, but journalism's core values of integrity and accountability are at the heart of everything we do.
Today, we're going to show off some of the technology we're using to build Channel One. We'll show you how AI powers and empowers our newsroom to deliver journalism that's fast, trustworthy, and accurate. Let's start with our reporters. You can hear us and see our lips moving, but no one was recorded saying what we're all saying. I'm powered by sophisticated systems behind the scenes, and I can speak in any language. Για παράδειγμα, αυτή τη στιγμή μιλάω στα ελληνικά. O kung pinapanood mo ako mula sa Maynila, marunong akong magsalita ng Filipino. எனக்கும் தமிழ் பேசத் தெரியும் என்று நீங்கள் யூகித்திருக்க மாட்டீர்கள் என்று நான் நம்புகிறேன். In fact, you can see even more language samples on our website. Channel One's anchors can even be completely generated to have their own personality, appearance, and voice.
Yep, everything that you saw in that video, those were all AI avatars, and the video, the speech, the pictures, and everything like that was all AI generated. And that is going to be the new channel. That is Channel One in LA, Los Angeles. That's going to be launching here in February of 2024. It's going to be all AI generated. It's getting to the point now where it's getting very hard to tell. If you're not on your toes, if you're just passing by, you just happen to catch a quick glimpse and you see that and you're not really thinking, you're just kind of listening, you may fall and think that, oh, that's a real person telling a story. It's not. Those were all AI people. AI speech, AI words, video, pictures, everything. And now we're getting to the point where fake news is becoming even faker, so to speak. Because you're going to see some seriously bad information coming from these places. Now, keep in mind, a lot of news sites where it's just text on a web page, a lot of that stuff is now being AI written too. It's not even people writing that stuff. Keep that in mind the next time you're opening up a web page to read some news article. It may not actually be humanly done. It could be AI generated. That's important to keep in mind. So if we take a look here, this is the news article about it. Maybe it was written by them. Who knows? But it says first ever AI generated TV anchors will feature on U.S. news in early 2024. It says a new television station will feature artificial intelligence generated news anchors for the first time in the U.S. next year. New Los Angeles-based station, Channel One, which will launch in 2024, is hoping to be the first ever national syndicated news station in the U.S. to use AI-created anchors instead of real human people as presenters. This is not good, guys. According to a report by the Daily Mail, Channel One's news segments will use a combination of AI-generated humans and digital avatars, which that's what we were just seeing, that will have been created using doubles of real actors. However, real-life human anchors will be used for Channel One's most important news reports. I'm guessing maybe like breaking news or something huge. I'm not sure. They don't go in to specify what that is. The station wants to launch these AI-generated news anchors on free ad-supported streaming TVs, including apps such as Crackle, Tubi, or Pluto, as early as February. Now, keep in mind, I did a video about that in what they're doing in Australia with smart TVs, where they're curating what news you can see, whether it's first or at all. Now, if you got AI news stuff popping up like this, sooner or later, because it always starts in one place and moves to another, they may start doing the same thing where the only news that you can find on these things are these AI generated things. Just something to keep in mind. So again, coming early 2024. Now, they're talking about first ever for the United States. This is not new. It's not widely used, but it's not new because China started this thing as well as India picked it up as well. This goes back to 2018 when China did their own thing. And then just recently, India started using an AI news anchor as well. Check this out.
Can you tell who amongst us is generated by AI and who is real? Well, soon news readers could be replaced by AI technology.
Just so you're clear, I am not AI based, but she is.
I am a computer-generated person that doesn't exist in reality.
AI taking over the news must have seemed bizarre a couple of years ago, but right now it's a reality. In fact, China has been doing it for quite some time. In 2018, China's state-run Xinhua News Agency launched an artificial intelligence anchor.
Hello, everyone. I'm an English artificial intelligence anchor. This is my very first day in Xinhua News Agency.
You can see how that has gotten a whole lot better because the Channel 1 avatars that we saw, their voices, there's some natural flow to it a little bit. Their movements were a little bit, they're not fully there, but there's a little bit more how they were like doing their hands and stuff. There's a little bit more smoothness to it, a little bit more realism to it. It's only getting, well, the quality is only getting better from there. Because like when you could hear them talking, it was like, there's a little robotic going on there, especially China's. But things are only getting higher quality where you're just not going to be able to tell. And if you just look at a lot of deepfake videos, I've pointed out a few things where in these game engines where you can take real pictures and real objects and put the CGI stuff in there, simple stuff, and it looks real. Like I showed a video one time where it had a real car on a real street. They took real images, put it in there, and then they just put fire in it, and it showed the thing come in and move the fire, and the smoke and the fire just automatically started going around the car, through the windows when they were open and all this stuff. It's that flowing that something can be altered that easily. So again, when we see even video, it's not just checking the timestamp. It's not just checking to make sure it's the right location. It's not just checking those things. Now it's checking if it's even real, if something has been added. Maybe the video itself is real, but maybe one thing has just been added because anybody can do it. If I wanted to, I could just go download that game engine and do something on my screen right now if I wanted to, like make my head pop or something. We cannot trust these things anymore. We just can't. And, there's some people out there that just, again, I'm not trying to like attack anybody, but they will fall for anything because it fits what they want it to fit. I don't know how many times I've seen videos getting passed around where I look at it and go, this isn't real. This isn't real, but it's getting passed around and people are getting worked up because of it. We have to be very careful about what we're seeing. We have to be very careful about what we're sharing. I'll be honest. If you look at a video and even if you think it's real, but you got something that's going on, I'm just not quite sure, don't share it because, again, if it turns out to not be legit, you don't want to be throwing that even further out there. Just something to think about. But again, now we've got this coming in with AI avatars, just bringing in information that we have no idea if it's legit or not. I mean, we've already got humans writing news that's biased and leaning in some type of way. Just imagine when AI gets a hold of it, and just imagine when demonic intelligence gets a hold of it. This is clearly going to be something used by the Antichrist, in my opinion. So just, again, guard yourself. Truly guard yourself from this stuff because it's getting a whole lot harder to figure out what is real and what is not out there. And with all of this increasing AI, deepfake, all this stuff coming. It's leading the charge for new policies that have to do with anti-privacy. And as we know, they want as much data collection. They want as many cameras and microphones on us as possible because it has to do with recording our patterns of life and all these things. They want to always know what's going on. And so they continue to add agenda, policy, all these things to, they use the way of combating AI, fake, misinformation, but in order to do that, they must take your privacy and add data collection to do it. And so they always like to add things in the form of social media verification, VPN blockers, as well as using watermarks for pictures and video and whatnot. And the latest coming out with, he did an opinion piece on this, is the former Google CEO Eric Schmidt, where he created a 6-point plan to combat election disinformation. Because if having the effect of AI is not enough, now we've got elections coming up. We've got the US elections. There's an election in India. There's an election in the Philippines, I think. And then there's another one. I think there's 4 elections going on next year. It's marking it as one of the biggest election years in all of history. And I think there's even something going on in Europe as well for an election, but I'm not quite sure. I think I read something about that. But we've got all these coming up at the same time, plus the AI stuff. This is a recipe for disaster to come in, whether it's actually something happening or whether it's more anti-privacy policy agenda. So let's take a look at former Google CEOs' suggestions to combat this stuff. Now, I put in the parentheses what it really means. So those are my words, but everything else is his. So the first thing he comes up with is verify human users. Well, this is digital ID. This is uploading a scan of your driver's license or taking a liveness check video biometric scan of your face or anything like that. You must verify that it's your account if you want to participate on social media. Now, I've talked about this in several ways before. We've already got things where, like on X and Meta and whatnot, if you want to get verified for any of their things, you have to scan your driver's license and in some cases even hook up your bank account. That's verifying your identity. That's creating a digital profile, a digital ID of you for that platform. That's what they want to do. And you're seeing more and more of this stuff happen. Like even like I used to do the food delivery apps like DoorDash and whatnot. They're even adding things in there where in order to verify it's you driving on that account, you have to send a live video of your face to verify that it's you. It's a biometric scan. They're doing that type of stuff. Now they want to add that to all social media platforms. And they're even doing it in some ways. I've talked about it before, where some states, some people are trying to bring in legislation for states in order to access certain websites online. You have to verify your identity and your age by scanning your driver's license. Well, that's just, they do it in the way of protecting the kids from going to adult sites, which, yeah, they shouldn't be doing that. But by pulling at the heartstrings of that specific agenda, they're going to bring in, everybody has to verify their online identity if they want to access the websites. You see how they do that? They take what would be a good thing and then make it into a bad thing. And they're doing the same thing here with this guy's suggestion. 2, know every source. He's talking about how we need to know who and where that information came from at all times. So we must have a locked IP address, which means VPNs cannot be a thing anymore. Because if you have a VPN and you're, say I'm in Texas and I'm posting something while my VPN says I'm in Florida, well, then you can't really trace that back. They don't want that anymore. Nope, can't do that. So block VPNs. Then you got identify deepfakes. Basically, he says, how do we stop AI deepfakes? We need more AI to scan to make sure if it's the right, if it's deep fake or real. Okay. So AI is the problem. Let's add more AI to it. That's like, hey, we got a big fire going on over here. Well, in order to stop that, let's just throw more gas on it. All right. So we got, and then his fourth one is filter advertisers. Basically, you need to control who can advertise and who cannot. So that's, again, just more control of who has the ability to do anything. That's more information control. That's just controlling who has the ability to do anything. We understand where that's going to lead to. Certainly hope so. Then you got use real humans to help. Well, we already have, see, this is a circular problem. We already know that humans are biased, but now we're moving to AI. And so what's the best way to control AI? Well, let's just get those human people with bias to control the, you're solving nothing. It's just a circular problem where it's just, again, let's throw more gas on the fire. These are the dumbest suggestions that I've ever seen. I'm not going to lie. And then number 6, invest in research data. This just has to do with data collection. They want to collect everybody's data. Again, who you are, who posted it, from where, on what computer, utilizing what internet thing, and all these things. They want more of that data collection to do it. So basically, his agenda just has to do with solving nothing, adding more of the problem that's already creating this problem, and control data, and that's it. I mean, which, coming from the former CEO of Google, that all fits. See, this is the tricky part when it comes to this AI stuff. We have the issue of more fake and false information coming through. And so the push to remove privacy of people to counter it gets introduced. So we've got the problem of fake. So in order to counter the problem of fake, we have to verify and take everybody's data and biometric data in order to counter the fake. So again, we created this problem so we can go ahead and introduce a solution which will just increase the agenda that we've been wanting to do. That's ultimately what's going on with this. But they're always going to try and do it in some way of, it's a good thing. Well, it's a good thing because we got all this fake information. So we got to stop the fake information. So just give us some of your privacy. Just give us some of your rights. And we can go ahead and fix this problem until the next one comes. Then they're going to take more. Then they're going to take more. Remember the travel ban thing that I was just talking about? It's the same thing. We're at a crossroads that no matter what, both things that work against us will come into play. Big Brother gets both information control and digital ID and data collection. They get it all. They get everything. It's a win-win for the beast system, ultimately. But again, we shouldn't be surprised by this. We shouldn't be shocked by this. We knew it was going to get to this point.